Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Ministry says no fleas at CWM Hospital. Over 400,000 registered for e-ticketing. And Climate Week events raising awareness.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
There is no outbreak of fleas at Suva's Colonial War Memorial Hospital despite a wrong radio report to the contrary by Communications Fiji Limited. This has been confirmed by the Ministry of Health, which has clarified that the maternity services at the CWM Hospital remain undisrupted and operating normally. Pranita Prakash reports.
The labour ward at CWM has been temporarily relocated to allow cleanup of the delivery rooms.
We've been trying to look for an opportunity to clean up labour ward for a while. And of course, many of you understand that trying to do it is not easy because it means we want to do it without stopping a service. And for me personally, the opportunity came when our delivery numbers went down and some of my nurses came up with a plan that would allow us to do that, to move the services somewhere else so that we can clean up labour ward.
The hospital management assures that the service is normal at the hospital.
We'd like to reassure the public again that no services has been withdrawn. We have continued to provide the same service that we are providing. It's just at a different location.
The ministry also confirms that there was no outbreak of fleas as reported by Communications Fiji Limited over the weekend.
The issue about what the doctors have been talking about is an issue about debris that's been collecting in the ceiling. Now the issue about fleas, I think people have taken it on board based on assumptions, but the fact of the matter is we are looking at clearing up the debris, which is much more important than just the fleas.
The cleanup, which was long overdue, is expected to take 2 weeks, and during this time the labour ward has been moved to the birthing unit. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A total of 470,000 Fijians have registered for e-ticketing. With a few more days left before this initiative comes into effect, Vodafone Fiji urges every travelling passenger to top up their cards before Sunday, since no cash will be accepted on that day. Savaira Thumbua has more.
Vodafone mobile registration teams have gone to wherever Fijians access bus services for registration. According to Vodafone Head of E-Commerce and Corporate Affairs, Salendra Prasad, people can still register after Sunday.
Registration of the cards and the issuing of cards will continue from the Vodafone Fiji outlets, Mr. Mobile and Velophone shops. So people can still go and register. But in the worst case, if somebody has not registered and wants to travel on the bus, they can actually purchase a disposable card on the bus on the day to travel.
Prasad has also confirmed all passengers with special concessions will be charged their normal fare.
If you are a concession passenger, disposable cards will not be applicable. You will be charged normal adult fare. So if you want to get concession, you need to pick up a normal registration card or registered cards.
Fijians have shared their views on e-ticketing.
I was planning to register for e-ticketing this Thursday.
Yes, I have already registered and I am looking forward to using my card this Sunday.
According to Prasad, all buses are expected to have e-ticketing machines installed before Sunday. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
National Climate Week aims to educate those who don't know about the devastating effects of climate change in the daily lives of every Fijian. Speaking on FBC TV's For the Record last night, Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum said Climate Week will raise awareness and present an opportunity for people to talk about their experiences with the issue. Kelly Vadala reports.
Absolutely.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum has reiterated the fact that climate change is real and its effects are already visible around the country. He says extreme weather events around the globe are a wake-up call.
We've already moved 3 villages to higher ground, One is Vunindongo Loa village in Dakondrove, Tukuraki village in Ba, Denimanu village in Nyandu Island. These villages actually physically had to be relocated because the water is coming into the areas where they traditionally didn't. Waters are coming in. A lot of the soil is getting, is getting a lot of salt. So you no longer can. Salinity levels are getting high. So you no longer can actually plant there. Some people are saying, look, there are certain fish that actually does not come out anymore because of the ocean temperatures heating. There are, reefs that are actually being bleached because of the heat in the water and all.
Students from schools in the Western Division gathered at Lautoka's Nachambul High School to participate in competitions as part of the National Climate Change Week program.
These are issues and challenges that we cannot run away from. And for us, as small island nations in the South Pacific, this is one area that is important to us.
We're dying along with our Earth, and there is no one else to blame.
National Climate Week started on Friday, aiming to educate people about climate change and the efforts of Fiji's COP23 presidency. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
With close to 200 questions to be answered in Census 2017, the Bureau of Statistics is reassuring the public that each question is relevant. Senior statistician Emily Soderberg says there were widespread consultations with government agencies prior to the formulation of the questions, which is expected to provide baseline information. In addition, a helpline toll-free number 5151 has also been set up from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily for the public to call in should they have any questions.
Yes, there are 198 questions spread out across 8 modules. Each module has different key indicators that is useful for policy and planning.
Investigations into the murder of a 21-year-old law student, Yosefa Ngionitonga Magnus, continues. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says they continue to gather information and question some people to try and ascertain Magnus's final hours. FBC News understands the murdered victim's body was mutilated. Magnus was found dead in a cassava patch beside a walkway in Vicinda Nasinu last Wednesday. Still to come, a boat and engine for Wailevu police. And WHO donates items for rural women. Stay with us.
Bula FM, number 2 en seri.
Employment Minister Chone Osomate is in the Northern Division carrying out public consultations on the minimum wage, seasonal work opportunities and child labour. The week-long tour began in Koroivonu village today, where Osomate outlined the new minimum wage of $2.68, which is effective from Saturday. Visiting Savusavu's town council, Osomate also talked about the seasonal work recruitment drive. The public consultation heads to Lambasa from tomorrow. The publisher Fiji Times Limited, Hank Arts, made a fresh application for bail variation before Suva High Court Judge Justice Tushara Rajasinghe today. Arts, who is charged with 1 count of sedition, is intending to travel to Honolulu. The date of his trip is from the 6th to the 17th of next month to celebrate his 28th wedding anniversary. Arts had earlier applied for bail variation to travel abroad but was rejected. A ruling on the application will be made next Monday. Monitoring the cultivation of marijuana in Wailevu, Vanuatu will be much easier now after a fiberglass boat and an engine were donated to the Wailevu police station. Commissioner Northern Chovesa Vodea says that this will boost the work of police officers. Ana Ravulo has more.
Before this donation, police officers had to depend on villagers.
Before that, they used to request assistance from Savusavu, for the boats from Savusavu or from Tukavisi to come around the island and to assist them in their work. Now, with the availability of the fiber and the engine, they'll be able to do their work properly in making sure that, they service the people very well, try and reduce the crime, and on top of that is the control of these drugs around this Golden Triangle.
The Deputy Police Commander Northern says the boat will be an asset to them as there are no roads in many places.
I think in Wailevu,
coastal of Wailevu, there are the road that is up only to Wailevu, and there are villages which we cannot reach by road. So it is a very big assistance to us in regarding to other villages, and also the Natewa Bay, coming of the Natewa Bay, where we hope that most of the illegal fishing and also illegal activities that is going on, this is one of the assets that will be very useful in combing that area.
The fiberglass boat and the engine was donated by the Prime Minister's office. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The Ministry of Women and Children today received personal care items and clothing from the World Health Organization's gender team. Permanent Secretary Josefa Koroevueta says the donations was timely because it will help the landslide victims of Tukiraki village in Ba as they relocated to a new site.
We are just so appreciative, of the heart to care, and the heart to give, the heart to share for women who are in need.
There are about 6 boxes that include different things, and as I mentioned earlier, now this initiative has grown from simple toiletries to other things like even money or clothes that are still in good condition.
Turning to world news, U.S. President Donald Trump is picking a fight with some tough-looking people, American footballers. This after the players were seen kneeling in protest during the national anthem over the treatment of black Americans. Turning to ahead in sports with Jamie, we have all the action from NRC, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight, FHL makes record profit. And in growing Fiji, work on Lambasa Mall near completion. Stay with us.
Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the
Welcome back, leading business tonight. The Fijian Holdings Limited has announced a great financial year ending June 30th. Group Chief Executive Nazab Farid says the group recorded a 33% growth for the last financial year. Farid says as for the first quarter of this year, the group has seen good results. He adds the bulk of the profits were accounted for from their tourism arms. The group consists of 14 subsidiaries and is a listed company on the South Pacific Stock Exchange.
So overall, again the group is on the right path in the first quarter. But mainly especially because of tourism. Tourism is probably one of the best months is July, August. It has done very well. So it has a big impact on the entire group.
And we now join Savanatha from HFC Bank with the latest from the money world.
Vinaka. Let's look at a South Pacific Stock Exchange market wrap from last week. 5 securities were traded totaling to 60,339 shares in 17 transactions. The accumulated value of the transaction was $158,065. The 5 securities traded were Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, Freebird Institute, RB Patel Group, Vision Investments, and Fijian Holdings. In terms of share prices, there were gains but no price losses. Freebird Institute shares witnessed a gain of 3 cents to conclude at a new all-time high share price of $2.48. RB Patel Group also recorded a new maximum share price of $3.60 after seeing an increase of 29 cents. Vision Investment shares ascended 7 cents and closed the week at a new maximum price of $2.46. Due to the various positive price returns recorded during the week, the overall market value rose by 0.97% or $16 million to close at a value of $1.672 billion. That is our South Pacific Stock Exchange market news right now. Vinaka.
Thanks for the update, Savanatha. On to today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. As you can see, there was a general increase across the rates today as the Fijian dollar strengthened against the Chinese yuan, the American dollar and New Zealand dollar, and the PNG kina to close at 320, 48 cents, 65 cents and 136. While our dollar weakened against the Australian and Japanese yen to close at 60 cents and 53.66. As for the commodities market, a mixed day as we start the week with oil prices dropping to close at $50.66 a barrel. Gold was up to close at $1,298 per ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $17.4 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, a 3-story mall constructed by Charanjit Singh Group of companies is expected to open by December. Director Charanjit Singh says they are investing $5 million in the project, which will create 150 new jobs. Singh says the ground floor with 15 shops is already opened.
There will be twin cinema there as well. There will be two theatres. It's got 15 shops and a food court, and it's got a huge car park space as well. So that's also a project our company is currently doing now in Lamasa.
And that's business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead, Drua hopes to maintain its form, and Wilson ropes in more players to build depth in national squad. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1. इट्स सो हॉट.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरेकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. आई लव मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन टॉक हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
Fiji Airways Ndrua coach Sinirusi Serubakula will retain the core of his team that played over the weekend as they prepare for 2 away matches in the National Rugby Championship. As table leaders after round 4, the Ndrua wants to improve further with its current form and maintain the top spot when it returns from Australia next month. Vaishnav Prasad reports.
Do our preview, then our mistake this week, we're going to lift it up next week.
Not making up the numbers, we wanted to go in and compete. So we won't rest here. We want to keep working hard. We are taking him to these 2 tours, and we got Alvarez with Tokani. So this first week, last week, and then I'm taking him with Tokani again next week. So there's still some players who's going to fill the shoes as Padilla and them is out. And these guys, they compete some position every week.
Meanwhile, Fijians Tangele Rovoro and Kichone Ratu scored 2 tries each when the Greater Sydney Rams took on Melbourne Rising in the NRC yesterday. But it was Ratu's Melbourne Rising that came away winners 41-31, recording its first win of the season. Fijian players were also in top form for their clubs in round 5 of the French top 14 competition. Nemanja Nandolo's Montpellier leads the table with 19 points, followed by La Rochelle on second. Fiji Pearls coach Vicky Wilson wants a bigger pool of players to select from for the 2018 Commonwealth Games. And in an effort to add more depth to the national side, Wilson has recruited 3 more overseas-based players to join the current national team preparing for its Europe tour, which starts next week. Meli Tavanga reports.
Following their 2 heavy defeats against South Africa earlier this month, coach Vicky Wilson says the experience the team gained from them will help them in the opening test against Scotland.
Looking at their skills, but again it's the depth in ensuring that we have a number of players who are of the standard that we need to choose when it comes to the Commonwealth Games team selection.
Wilson will include 3 overseas-based players, 2 from the British Army and 1 from New Zealand, in the squad who are expected to join them soon.
We've got Jacinta Lull, who's currently based in New Zealand, and we've got 2 girls who are in the British Army. Alissi and Undi, the 2 women based in the UK.
Strength and conditioning coach Makilesi Mbatimali is working tirelessly on the team's fitness to enable them to maintain their momentum for the full 4 quarters of the game.
Have possession and also follow their plan right through. And you can see that from the first quarter, then when they go into the second quarter, their momentum started to decrease because they just don't have the full fitness to take them through, to hold them through right throughout the 4 quarters.
The Pearls will face Scotland in their first match in Cardiff next Friday. They will then play Wales on October 6th before facing Northern Ireland and England. Benitavanga, FBC Sports.
Team Fiji weightlifter Eileen Thikamatana won gold in the women's 90-kilogram competition at the 5th Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games in Turkmenistan over the weekend. The 18-year-old lifted a total of 254 kilograms, 111 in the snatch, and a clean and jerk of 142. She also set 12 new records in the process, 3 each in the Commonwealth Senior and Junior divisions, and 3 each in the Oceania Senior and Junior divisions. Blues FC striker Mohamed Shalmeen has dedicated his winning goal in yesterday's Vodafone National Club Championship to his daughter. His goal in the second spell against Raymond's FC was enough to secure the side from Nandi its first ever NCC title.
And I feel very, very happy after scoring the winning goal. I knew, when I saw the ball coming towards me, I knew 100% I would have scored. I would want to score the goal. And I would like to dedicate the winning goal to my daughter, Afira Jiti Salmin.
The Fiji Car Club recorded its highest number of participants at its Pacific Energy quarter-mile drag race event yesterday. 55 cars were part of the event with more than 750 spectators. Rohit Deo reports.
The Fiji Car Club is pleased with the way they have progressed over the years.
It is a historic moment for Fiji Car Club in terms of the number of cars that took part. To be precise, we had 55 cars that took part in yesterday's Pacific Energy quarter-mile drag race. For us, it's a huge number. Never in the history that the former executives or the current executive ever thought that we would have 55 cars running.
The organization has not only recorded an increase in the number of drivers taking part, but has also recorded a steady increase in spectators.
We're also averaging around 700 spectators per event now. We had 3 events already this year, so the average is 700 for us or for any other sporting organization in Fiji. That's a huge number of spectators together in one day.
The club has brought in activities for kids to encourage the whole family to come to the drags.
There's an initiative from Pacific Energy combined with us, and we have introduced something for the kids as well to make a family event.
The next event on the club's calendar is scheduled for next month. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports. Catch weather later on with Angie. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, meet Nightscope's crime-fighting robots, which has the ability to detect concealed weapons. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko azo sila talit. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasibale kung nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In your media, whether you have an iPhone or an iPad, these are the features you need to know in Apple's iOS 11. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you had an awesome day. Well, of course you did with such amazing weather. Yes, you heard it right. Brightly lit sunshine made today a gorgeous one, even though it's Monday. Looking at the west, mostly cloudy out there today, but there is no sign of rain. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a divided day between sunshine and rainy spells. And up in Vanuatu, much like the west, conditions were cloudy too. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 10:09 with low tide at 4:37. See the beauty of sunrise at 5:53. For tomorrow, some early morning showers will be around, but that is expected to clear during the day. Tomorrow's temps, Nandi will be the warmest with highs of 32 degrees, getting warmer there. And looking further on to Wednesday, it looks like we will be seeing bigger and heavier raindrops. And that's our FBC weather for tonight. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, do you think the Fijian Drua can win the NRC competition?
Yeah, the Fiji Drua are going to win the NRC.
I think that they've been doing well and they can make it.
I believe the Fijian Drua is able to win the championship.
They can win this NRC this year.
A new wave of night-scope crime-fighting robots is rolling out to patrol malls and airports alongside human security guards. Let's take a look. Recapping the main stories, Ministry says no fleas at CWM Hospital, over 400,000 registered for e-ticketing, and Climate Week events raising awareness. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, do you agree with the name and shame policy for tax evaders? 73% said yes. This week we are asking, are local players in the Fijian Drua ready for flying Fijian duties? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. The shot was taken from Waimanu Road in Suva by Nalin Kalian. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and pleasant evening. Good night.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tale, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.